Welcome back to Calculated Keto. As you can see, we have number 2 here. She's amazing. We love her and she's awesome. Anyway, we're doing a analysis video of week 1 of our keto meal plan just to kind of check in to see how it went, what we can improve on, what we're going to keep the same, kind of go through the numbers to see how we did. What would you say your favorite meal of week 1 was?
Hands down, day 7's dinner, the coconut shrimp. Obsessed with the dip. All of it was so good. What about yours?
I would say day 1, the keto taco salad.
Oh, yes, that one's so good. That was probably my second favorite.
Hopefully you tried it. But yeah, and I also they're all really good.
Shrimp's the best.
All right, so the main thing that we want to look at is how do we do on average per day when it comes to our calories and our net carbs and the cost, right? Those are the 3 C's, the triple C's that we kept saying. We want to make sure that we're close to what we're aiming for, which is 2,000 calories per day, 20 net carbs, and about $10 per person. So we were at 1,995 calories, 22.5 net carbs, and the cost was $9.58. So we came very close to all those numbers, and the most important is that we stayed under cost, which is really good. It's almost a little it's crazy how close it was. We tried to obviously plan it, but we didn't know it was going to get that close. So the macros for the week, as far as averages, was 70% fat, 25.5% protein, and 4.5% net carb or carbs. So we were dead on when it comes to macros, which is
pretty awesome.
Yeah, which is really good. So as far as being in ketosis, obviously by following those macros, you should definitely be there.
And most people do focus on macros with the keto diet, which is super important because you don't want to get kicked out of ketosis, with a meal or whatever. But it's also important to remember to get the right vitamins and minerals in each meal. I'm sure that's kind of how dirty keto is it's just focusing on the macros,
Yeah.
Which is fine temporarily. It's not a huge deal, especially if you're just starting out. But as you get into this and as we've learned, it's really important to make sure that you're also getting the right amount of vitamins and minerals in your meals, or else you can end up kind of feeling like crap.
So if you've been following our meal plan so far, you've seen our cost pop up as far as how much a meal costs or how much a day has cost us. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain or at least give an example of how we came up with those numbers. So for instance, if we were going to make a smoothie, we make a lot of smoothies, right? We love smoothies. And we were going to put cocoa powder in it, right? We would want to see how much it costs, if we went to the store and bought a tub of cocoa powder, right? So at Walmart, we can buy a tub of cocoa powder for $5.84, and it has 91 tablespoons in that tub, right? So if you do the math, that's about 7 cents per tablespoon. And if the recipe in the smoothie called for 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, we would multiply that by 3, which would give us 21 cents, right? So we do that for all the ingredients that we put in our meals, and we get a total cost, right? So that's just an example of how we came up with this. That way you know that we're just not throwing numbers out there.
So you might spend a little bit more in the first month just because you have to get those ingredients, but it averages out over time after about the first month because you're spending less the next month because you don't have to buy those things. So
yeah, you might. So yeah, we're using $300 per month per person. You might spend maybe even closer to $400 for that first month, just because there's a lot of different ingredients that you might not have in your house, right? Like almond flour or something like that, right? But like Meg said, it's going to average out, especially if this is going to be more of a lifestyle change and it's going to be more long term, then you'll be fine. So is there anything that you would probably change for week 1?
yeah, this is kind of a personal thing for me. I'm not super good at seasoning things, so I tend to use the same like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Like I use the same thing. So I wish I need to start branching out and using different seasonings that are appropriate for each meal.
I would say my biggest regret is not using pasture-raised organic eggs. So that's something that I didn't think was important because it costs like $8 versus, $1 per dozen, right? But we had a little bit room in our budget, and that was like one of the only ingredients in our meal plan that wasn't like very high quality.
Top notch.
Yeah, so that kind of like bothers me. So I think I would probably implement that going forward since we don't eat a ton of eggs. Okay, so to get more into the details of the nutrients and how we did, so the first thing we want to talk about is the omega-6 to 3 ratio. And so you've probably heard of that before. Omega-6s you need, right? Omega-3s you need. But omega-6s, if you have too much, can be very inflammatory. And so you want to have a ratio that's closer to like 1 to 1. But I think that's pretty hard.
Impossible.
Yeah. So we were 3 to 1, right? So for every 1 omega-3, we had 3 omega-6. But the standard American diet's like 20 to 1.
Which is insane.
Yeah. So as far as which nutrients were we low on for week 1, which ones were we doing pretty good on? So I'm just going to spitfire at you guys. I'll put the numbers on the screen, and I won't go through all of them, right? I'll link the totals down below. That way you can look through it if you really want to. So the biggest one that I was surprised was potassium. So the recommended daily amount is 4,700 milligrams, and we had almost about 2,500 milligrams. So that's like almost half, or yeah, like half of what you should be getting. Yeah, so we should be eating more vegetables because that's where you're gonna get most of your potassium from. But also, is there like any supplement for potassium? Is that bad to take? I really don't know.
About potassium.
If you guys have an idea or some ideas without having to add too many carbs into the meal, then that would be appreciated.
So obviously we're not going to be eating bananas, so we need to have other ideas coming in that are keto friendly for potassium.
Fiber, we only had about 21 grams. You're supposed to have somewhere around 25, so not too far off. Calcium, we were at 905 average per day, which you should be closer to about 1,000.
Not too bad.
Yeah, so not too far off. B9, which is folate, we were at 318, and you need 400, which is really important, especially if you're pregnant or nursing.
Yeah, which is obviously something we've been focusing on.
Yeah, you can even get like supplements specifically for folate, and so
which we do that.
Yes.
So you can get most of you should be getting your vitamins and minerals through your food because it's a whole different topic, but pills don't do as much. But I'm still taking a supplement because I'm still doing a prenatal. We would never recommend that you don't do something like that. But try to get your nutrients through your food. That's pretty good though. That's really not bad. I mean, I don't think that most people focus as much on that. So I don't think we're doing half bad for trying to get our nutrients through our food.
Yeah, definitely for not taking very much, like very little or none at all as far as supplements go, getting that close is pretty good. The other thing we want to talk about is sugar. So sugar, our average per day was 10 grams. So the average, it's somewhere I think around 70 grams of sugar. And so we're, that's 7 times what we're doing, right? What do you think we were doing like before we started keto? Like do you think we were close to 70 grams?
Probably. I mean, we ate normal food. We didn't look at labels and we didn't eat whole foods.
I think like some smoothies, like if you go to like Jamba Juice.
Oh, yeah, that's full of sugar. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, but I think it's like one smoothie at Jamba Juice, or what's the other place we like? The Tropical Smoothie.
Oh, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. That's like 1.5 times your amount that you should be having in a day.
It's like, I think you'll probably get 70 grams in just like one drink, right? Which is crazy, but... Well, there you guys have it. That is our analysis of week 1. Like I said, we'll do this again at the end of week 2. Week 2 is going to be somewhat similar to week 1. We're going to try to make it enough variety where you don't feel like you're eating the same thing every day, right? but also there's a fine line. You don't want to have to recreate the wheel and buy all new ingredients and break the bank. That is it for our analysis for week 1. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys think, what we could improve for week 2 and just moving forward. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.